I'm Ashley.
I'm Lauren, and this is
Whispers in the Basement.
I kind of feel like I have to burp. Okay, I'm good.
Did that make you uncomfortable?
No, it didn't at all. I was like fighting back a burp, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be pressured to talk, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't talk like that because I always listen to our recordings back and then I hear things that I say and I'm like, that's cringeworthy. Don't talk like that, Ashley.
I always feel like whenever I listen back, especially whenever it's your episode and I am providing the commentary.
Oh, yeah. You're the audience.
I'm saying, yeah.
A lot.
But also,
I always say interesting.
I'm so back here. And so in my car, whenever I feel like it's at full volume, I'm like, what'd you say, Lauren? I can't hear you.
Note for next time.
Yeah.
Note for next time.
So then I'm like intentionally like, get up on the mic.
Yeah. You kind of have to fuck it with your mouth.
Yeah. I was going to say there was that one time that whenever my mic wasn't recording and Aaron was like, you just got to yell into it. And I was like, I feel like I am. And I feel like they could hear me heavy breathing the whole time. And then my mic wasn't recording, so...
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Good Lord.
I was like, I'm doing the best.
How the times have changed.
It really has.
Yes. Yeah.
I do have a little, like, sentimental thing before I get into the many things that I have written down.
Oh, gosh, okay.
I just want to say that I appreciate that we have such a healthy friendship. I was talking to Seth about this today.
Gosh.
And because I feel like I have a very healthy marriage too, where like if any kind of conflict or vibes feel off, we just talk through it.
You do have a healthy marriage, that's
and
for
it's
sure.
also like that in our friendship. I think in our friendship, we take 3 business days to feel the vibes out of each other.
That's true.
And then we come back to it because
true.
I will usually love bomb you, which is what gets you to open up and start talking. And then it opens up the floodgates. And so...
That's accurate.
But then I feel like it's not even like ever conflict. It's just like.
It's really stupid stuff. And it's entirely like, I'm not going to say it's always me. It is most of the time me. Sorry. I am adjusting my mic.
You're okay.
Because I feel like I'm really loud. I have difficulty putting my feelings and emotions into words. And the crappy thing is I used to tell Aaron all the time, like, I'm a really good communicator. And that's a bold-faced lie. I am not. I have this thing where I just really am so scared of hurting people's feelings that I just deal with it internally on my own and I just stuff it way down in there. And I have recently been told by so many people, like, that's not a healthy way to deal with things. You should probably talk about stuff.
No.
I've just never felt safe enough, I think.
Well, and I think with you holding your feelings in, it hurts my feelings worse.
Oh, yeah.
Because then I'm like, oh.
But why can't you talk to me?
Yeah, because like, hello, we've been through it.
Yeah.
And
that's
so, true. I mean.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
a work in progress.
It's so funny, though. I was telling Seth today, I was like, I'm just so blessed that, like, I have a healthy relationship with her that, like, we can talk. And then as soon as we talk, within 30 seconds, I'm like, cool, all is well. We've spoke our piece. But, like, it's not even really any drama.
No. And it's never awkward. It's never like, yeah, I can't really say we've ever had a situation where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm still not completely over this. This is going to be weird for the next few days. I've never had that happen.
No, it's like we talk and then it's like, oh, okay, because it's most of the time it's like massive miscommunication or assumptions on both of our parts.
Yes. Well, and we're both overthinkers. And so, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say
it's really hard to break that cycle too, to not be an overthinker.
So, if you need any friendship advice, here we go.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like,
sometimes
just love bomb each other until you can.
It's true.
It's a little psycho.
It's okay. We still love each other.
Absolutely. Last night as I was texting you, I was like, and verbalizing all of my emotions, I was like, God, it kind of felt like you. I was like.
I have done that. Trust me. Word vomited on many people. But sometimes I just like, that's the problem. Like you hold it in for so long that it kind of, I don't want to use the word fester because I don't ever like, it's never in like a negative way where I'm like yelling at that person, but it does fester to a point where there's no controlling it or containing it. It literally, it's just like a 5-gallon bucket of here's all of the things that I've been trying to keep inside for the last couple of days that are bothering me. And I've overanalyzed and overthought them. And yeah, you gotta nip it in the butt during the moment, which is, it's very hard.
It's so hard, especially because sometimes I think whenever you talk to yourself or you're even just bothered by something, the whole time you're telling yourself, is it valid that I'm feeling this way or am I just being crazy?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But no, especially whenever I have like not even conflict, but if I feel like there's things that I need to talk about with somebody, it's all that consumes me. And the whole time I'm like, I need to clear this.
It affects your mood tremendously.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
Yep. Well, thanks. I love you.
I love you too.
And I am also glad that we have a healthy relationship.
A healthy relationship and coping mechanisms.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So going into today's topic, I need to tell you also, you know this, but I'm just going to tell it for everyone because I feel like it's a good little how bad things happen in threes.
Oh, okay.
So whenever I was at my mom's for a week, I was working remotely the whole time, and I felt like the whole week had been going pretty smooth, honestly. I was like, cool, it's Friday. Well, I guess everything started on Thursday. So I was like, it's Thursday. I just have like one more full day, and then I get to go home. I only like being away from my house for like 3 days.
I was going to say, to also elaborate on this, you're kind of an introvert to a degree. Like you don't like leaving your space. And again, like and maybe there are some people out there that are totally fine with this, but I don't sleep comfortably at anybody else's house other than my own.
Facts.
So
my bed you're
like kind of exhausted by the end of the time too, because it's not your bed.
No. And it's just not my routine. I don't feel like you can still bring all of your stuff to do skincare, shower, all of that, but it still feels like you're out of place.
Yeah. Yep.
So I was just ready to be home. And so Thursday night happens and there's all these storms that roll through. And the big brunt of the storms were basically done. And so I'm sitting there getting ready to cook dinner, and this massive flash of lightning hits, I assume pretty close to my mom's house at that point, because it was like all of the windows just flashed. And I remember seeing like bright light and also red, but I don't know if it's because it was just like so fast and bright that my eyes were like, what was that? And it was so loud. And so my little brother comes out of the room and I'm like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, that was so scary. And so then we realized that the Wi-Fi is off. And so he's going to try to figure it out. Well, the Wi-Fi router's fried. And so I'm like, dope. Okay.
I still have to work tomorrow.
Yeah. And I'll be damned if I'm using a vacation day for this. I guess I'll just use a mobile hotspot all day.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my parents had a like separate router for the camper that they use so they can watch Netflix and stuff.
That would never happen to me.
No.
That would never be my luck.
It was a saving grace because they were both also out of the country. So I'm having to communicate all of this through Facebook. But I also don't want to be that person that's like, oh my gosh, all of this is going wrong. I'm just like, hey, can you give us like your internet provider and maybe we can call them and we can try to get them here tomorrow to fix the router?
Yeah, because they're on vacation. They're supposed to be chilling.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You're blowing their phone up, letting them know that all hell has broke loose at their house.
Correct. So then 30 minutes later, this guy comes up to the door and I can see him, and I'm just not used to people coming up to my door, and it had happened multiple times throughout the week. So their Amazon person is not an Amazon truck. It's somebody in their own real vehicle. But I was like, who is this guy coming up to this house in this random vehicle? Well, this person happened to be their neighbor, and he was like, do you guys have water? And in my head, I was like, yeah, we literally just used water. No, the lightning had also hit the well pump and fried that. So we had no water.
Love it.
And I was like, okay, cool. I can deal with that water until like maybe in the morning. It was temporarily fixed long enough for my brother to take a shower, but not me.
I was going to say, what was your fix for that? Like, I'll I'll just use, it's fine. I'll use bottled water. It's fine.
Well, there was enough pressure for me to get a trickle to wash my face at least. So I kind of felt clean, but I am a night shower person. So
Right.
the fact that I did not have a restful night's sleep.
I was going to say, did you feel cringe going to bed dirty?
Yes. Also because I was planning on washing my hair that night. And so then it just felt like extra gross.
Oh, yeah.
It was nasty.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next morning, the neighbor texted me because I gave him my phone number and he was like, yeah, we're having the guy come out this morning. And I was like, praise Jesus. Okay.
Lorraine needs a shower.
Yes. And I was like, I'll just stay working in my pajamas because I don't want to get dirty. I don't want to wear clean clothes when I still feel dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent my brother to go get us coffee. And as I'm working, minding my own business, my mom has 4 dogs, 2 dachshunds, a pit bull mix, and then an Australian shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
They're all outside, and all of a sudden I hear one of them screaming. And so I am like, Jesus Christ, there's like a dog fight.
Because that's happened.
It has happened.
Mhm.
Lady has had lots of training since then. So like I wasn't too worried, but like I just heard a dog screaming.
There was still that possibility.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So then I get out there and the Australian Shepherd has his like arm completely extended out, his front like arm completely extended out, and he is screaming. He's also a very vocal dog. Like as soon as you walk in the house, he's like yowling and just wanting your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I look at him and I'm trying to get him to come to me because I'm still in my pajamas and I am just not, I'm just wanting him to have some kind of self-preservation at this point.
Him or you?
Him. Because come to me, like, because you have to walk down a good, like a couple stairs, like not a couple, like maybe 6 stairs to get down to him, which is fine. But he's also in the middle of the yard. And so I'm just trying to get him to come here to see, like, how big of an emergency is this? No, he is sat just screaming on the ground with his arm out. And so I go over there. And of course, all the other dogs are freaking out because why are you screaming? So the 2 dachshunds are also jumping on him.
Oh,
and I'm
awesome.
screaming at all of the dogs to stay away from him. And Lady is just circling him because she's like, what's going on? Like, why is he not moving? But
Danger,
he's screaming.
danger.
Yes. And so the whole time I'm just like, okay, all right, how do I get this dog in this house? Because I mean, it's not that it's impossible to pick him up, but he's at least 50 pounds, I feel like.
This situation is giving me anxiety right now. And also, I picked fucking Tessa up out of the pond. And she's bigger. She was bigger than 50 pounds. So
Yeah.
I know your ass can pick that dog up.
Oh, and I absolutely did. And I carried
PJs
him
or not.
inside. But by the time I get inside, like my anxiety, like my heart is just like pounding out of my chest. And I'm like, I need my little brother here right now because we have to go to the vet.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm also trying to hold the dog up so that he's not putting any pressure on this joint because it's definitely dislocated.
Right.
So then I call my little brother and I'm like, where are you? And he's like, I'm like 10 minutes away. And I'm like, you need to get here right now. Oi dislocated his elbow and we have to go to the vet. And he's like, well, is he okay? And I was like, I guess, but I still need you to get here because we have to take him.
How did you come to the conclusion? Like, I wouldn't have even known what was wrong with him.
Well, the fact that he couldn't bend it is just, I just automatically assumed like dislocation.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that.
I don't know. I was just trying to problem
I don't know
solve.
what the fuck's wrong with you. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
In between this time, after I hang up the phone with my little brother, I am like heavy breathing because I'm just like, my adrenaline is going and I'm just slightly starting to kind of freak out. But like, I'm also like, whenever I get really like high stress, I'm like, I want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I need to call the one person who will completely downplay this scenario to me. So I call my husband.
Oh, God.
And he, of course, answers in the middle of the day, but I am out of breath and I'm telling him this situation. He's like, okay, so wait for your brother to get there. Get him to the vet. It will be okay. He's just that person. Like if you're literally experiencing the worst thing.
I think I'm the same way though, like to a degree.
I think I am to a degree too.
Yes.
Because to Seth's mom, she will be freaking out about like the world is falling.
Yes, it's to somebody else you're like that.
Correct.
But in your own situation, it's very hard to be like, all right, let's just, bring it down a notch. Drama
Absolutely.
queen,
Yes.
Yeah.
So then after I get like half calmed down, I'm like, let me call my boss, let her know I am going to be out of the office while I take this dog to the vet. Janie, of course, does not answer. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be away because like, what if she realizes I'm away? And then she's like, what are you doing? But also I can't type one-handed because I'm still holding this dog up.
Yeah.
And so then Darius gets in the house and I'm like, okay, I need to put on real human clothes really quick. I need you to hold him. Darius also has similar stress to me. So he's also on the verge of tears.
Yeah, you sound like a giant-ass dumpster fire.
It was. Long story short, we got him to the vet. As we were putting him on the stretcher, Darius popped his elbow back in. But we still left him to have x-rays and everything like that.
Because it was more like, I need a babysitter for a while I go chill myself out.
Yes. And so I had not even told my mom or Kevin about this. So then Kevin texted me and he was like, hey, I heard that the water guy was there. Didn't know because I'm not home. And he's like, you should have Darius go out there and talk to him. And I was like, oh, can't. We're at the vet. And and my mom goes, why? And then Kevin goes, why? And my mom then types back and she goes, was that a typo? Because they're automatically assuming there was a dog fight and somebody's dead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so then as I'm getting ready to respond, then we have to put him on the stretcher. So then I have to wait. And so then Kevin's trying to call me.
Oh, my gosh.
We got it all sorted out. But then my mom was confused because I guess I did not communicate that we were leaving him there. So she's watching us on Life 360 when we're just trying to go get Wingstop afterwards to chill out and wait to see how long this takes. But my mom thought we were taking him to the emergency vet.
So lesson of the day is
bad things happen in 3.
And you're not going to do that again.
No, I'm not.
I'm not going down there for a week again.
No, not a week, man.
Not by myself.
No. I'm going to need somebody else to manage.
I would have probably come home after that and just like drank myself to death.
What did I do? Oh, I went to a whitetail banquet with my in-laws after that night. It was good. I had a couple. Well, I started out with a whiskey sour and then I went to go get it refilled. But then this guy looked at me and he goes, amaretto sour. And I was like,
no, I said whiskey sour.
Yeah, I did. And he said, so amaretto sour. And I was like, sure, I guess. I guess. Like, have you never heard of a whiskey sour, sir?
Are you deaf? Yeah. I said whiskey sour.
Well, and then the girl next to me, she was like, oh, I just had an amaretto sour. But like amaretto sours are so sweet. It's like that sweet where it like leaves a coating on your teeth.
I don't like amaretto, period.
I think it's fine, but I just really wanted a whiskey sour again.
No, man. I'm a clear alcohol girl.
Yeah. I don't know. I ended up with heartburn. The prime rib was fire, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when it rains, it pours and all shit comes in 3s.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, it could have been worse.
Yeah, could have.
But hey, it happened in a quick time span because whenever you have those 2 bad things happen,
and then you're waiting months for the third thing.
Yeah,
yes, it's true. Yeah.
Nope, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, pack your warmest flannel and your fleshy skin hat, aka coonskin hat. I didn't know if that was like politically correct.
Wait, but why is it a fleshy skin? An animal fleshy skin?
Yeah, like like a raccoon.
Well, yeah, I know that, but you just said fleshy skin, so I was thinking of
a fleshy hat. But a fleshy hat? Are you thinking like fleshlight hat?
I'm thinking of it puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay, well.
On that note,
all right, we're gonna go sit around a campfire and roast some weenies.
Yes.
While I give you a peek into my childhood,
introduce
you to my Aunt Sheila, who introduced me to loving horror, the creatures that she created to scare my cousin and I. We will then cover some popular urban legends.
All right.
Ranging from the Ozark Howler, the 2016 clown sightings.
I remember that.
And the Bell Witch.
The Bell Witch. Okay, I'll comment on that.
I'm not going to lie. The Bell Witch was actually kind of lackluster after I don't know what I was anticipating.
Like, researching it was lackluster?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, yeah, but okay, I'll just talk about it when we get there.
Okay. Urban legends are a genre of folklore concerning stories about an unusual or humorous event that many people believe to be true, but largely are not.
Mm-hmm.
These legends can be entertaining, but often concern mysterious peril or troubling events, such as disappearances, strange objects, or entities.
Do you think that urban legends were kind of created to, like, wrangle children?
Yeah.
Like, stay out of the woods or else that Momo's going to eat you.
Okay, so, all right. The only reason I'm saying that because my aunt literally did this to Cody and I.
Okay,
She created urban legends to do this to us.
Oh my gosh.
I've honestly always loved scary movies, urban legends, haunted houses, and scary stories. I come by it honestly. Ever since I was a kid, I had been surrounded by these things. My Aunt Sheila is the one who really drove my love for all things spooky and scary. Some of my earliest memories were watching Halloween every single Halloween before we would go trick-or-treating. My mom always made chili. My mom's chili is always the best chili, even though she literally never follows her recipe.
You know what's so ironic about that? Okay, let's talk about irony here.
Go ahead.
Our moms have the same birthday. Your mom and my mom have the same birthday.
Yeah.
I was also raised on horror, but from my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom also, every Halloween, makes chili.
That is so funny.
Talk about
that
weird.
is weird.
Mm-hmm. Very.
My mom does like horror. She doesn't like it as much now because Kevin is not really a big horror fan. Like if we watch a scary movie at the house, Kevin will politely excuse himself to go watch something else in the other room.
Think that both of our moms have that very, like, they have the same look of disapproval.
They do.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you fucked up, you know you fucked up.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
of that look. It's just that look. Like,
yes.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, like,
it's very funny.
My brother is now, like, actively getting these looks, and I'm like, this is what I had my whole childhood.
Does your mom wear glasses sometimes?
Yeah, she wears glasses 24/7.
Does she look over the rim when she's like, are you freaking serious?
No, it's more of like a side-eye through the glasses with the, like, the pursed lips.
Oh, my mom does the pursed lips, too.
It's an iconic.
It is.
It is.
Okay, sorry. It's just very funny how similar they are.
No, it is. It is kind of funny. Whenever we talk about, the similarities of our moms. Yeah.
Yep.
Sheila was the cool aunt who had no kids and really just took me and my cousin as her own. She would fully raid my candy stash after a night of trick-or-treating.
Well, yeah, it's payment.
Absolutely. Like, she would go do all of the things with us, but then she was like, after a good stop, she would just pick out what she wanted.
But we always get the good stuff and we leave the shit stuff for the kids.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Absolutely.
I don't do that very often.
Whatever. It happens.
But it is payment, man.
Absolutely, because trick-or-treating is a lot of hard work, especially for adults.
It absolutely is.
And trying to coax kids to be like, okay,
go to this random stranger store, okay, and knock and be very polite to this person that you don't know when they give you candy, but we also tell you to stay away from vans that are passing out candy.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Outside of scary movies, she also had quite the imagination that to this day, my family and I will talk about some of the creatures that she created just to scare Cody and I. The first creature she created was named Bingo. Bingo lived in her basement in a house that she used to live in Huntsville. I didn't really remember what he looked like, so I had to do a quick group text to be like, what do we remember about these creatures? Because I just remember that they were definitely used as scare tactics, but also just like funny stories. So after talking in the group text, it was decided that he was a clown.
I was going to say Bingo sounds like either a rabid dog or a clown.
So I thought that he was a rabid dog, but everybody else remembered a clown. So we're just going to go with clown. It wasn't that we weren't allowed in the basement, but I remember that she would go down there to pretend to lock him up so that he wouldn't get us. And there would be times that she would make sounds to scare us, to tell us that, like, he was going to get us. So, like, there would be times that I would remember she would, like, quickly run up the stairs and she'd be like, oh my gosh, I just escaped Bingo.
I don't like that. Do you know? don't like that because here's why. Forever and like even now when I like shut the lights out in the kitchen and the whole house is dark, I'm like swiftly walking through the house like something's behind me and gonna get me.
Absolutely.
And it's because of shit like that.
No, it's actually kind of tragic.
It,
like, you watch
traumatic.
those pranks of like parents scaring kids and then the kids are actually traumatized.
Dude, I've got the worst traumatizing story. Do you want it now or do you want it later?
No, go ahead.
I'll tell you now. So whenever I was younger, my grandparents, my dad's parents, they lived next door to us, but in between us was a lot that my dad kept his cattle on. And so you had the fence row, and then right before you hit the road, there were these little bitty like evergreen trees that they had planted between the two houses. And there was one, I don't remember, I feel like it was Easter, that I had left something at their house. And so my mom was like, just walk over and get it. And she gave me a flashlight. It was raining outside. Oh, it's not a very long walk. And I think I may have been like 7 or 8. I don't know. But I am walking. I go over and I get whatever it was that I left. I'm walking on my way back. And I start to come up to this one evergreen tree. And I can hear this noise. And it's going like,
no.
And I'm like, as a child, I'm like, what is that noise? And so I kind of walk a little bit more forward, and then I hear, and I remember looking at the flashlight thinking, are these batteries dying? Because it's raining outside. I'm like, are they getting wet and they're dying? No, it's my fucking dad. He was behind one of those trees to scare me. And he got Josh one time so good.
Wait, so did he end up jumping out again?
Yes, yeah, and scared the shit out of me. But he got Josh good one time. Like, I thought Josh broke his bed. He scared Josh so bad.
No.
Yeah, because Josh was talking about how he's a big boy. He doesn't have to, I can walk in my bedroom with my light off. And we were all like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But the way the bed was situated, my dad was on the other side of the bed and Josh walked into that room in the pitch black. And my dad jumped up and scared the ever-loving shit out of Josh. And I just remember seeing that whole bed cave in because Josh jumped so high and landed on that bed. And I just remember being like, fuck, he broke the bed. Okay, so yeah, go back to Sheila.
So after the house in Huntsville, she ended up moving out to the country. Bingo did stay at the house to torment the next family.
Oh, okay.
This gave her the creative freedom to come up with a new creature that would lurk in the night. This is how the Wookalar was born.
What a name.
Dude, she was great at it.
I love this.
The Wookalar was a creature that would never be seen, but it would chase us if we went into the woods late at night.
Oh.
My 2 standout memories where I was truly terrified was when we had a bonfire at her house. I think it was around fall because I do remember it being cold. My dad and I believe uncles went into the woods and started creating a ruckus. The rest of the adults were naturally in on this. So then my aunt, she was like, oh my gosh, do you hear that? I think it's the Wookalar. We need to go hide. And so, I don't really remember where Cody was in this point, but I know that I was like, oh my God, like crying probably. I need to hide. And so then there was one year that Cody had a camping sleepover. I also remember this sleepover because it was a lot of Cody's friends. Cody always had just a bunch of friends growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had this camping sleepover that she had a lot of her friends at. And I was just kind of the cousin that, like, we were besties, but she definitely had her own friends at that point. And I remember one time, like, while we were eating, I was trying to show off. And I feel like there was a movie that I had watched where there was a food fight in. And so I took my potato salad and flung it backwards, and it hit the tent, and my mom saw.
Oh, did Della lose her shit?
Got in trouble. I think I got spanked even. And I cried.
Oh,
yeah, she pulled me into the house, and she was like, we are not going to do that. You are being too big for your britches.
Oh.
Just classic.
I love it.
And so I did get to end up staying because she did threaten to take me home. But I did get to stay the night. But I think, again, there was a bonfire, like weenie roast s'mores kind of thing that we had, and my uncle Larry and Uncle Ron had gone to the woods and started like breaking branches and just creating a big ruckus. And so then naturally they were like, oh my God, it's the Wookalar. And so then I remember like screaming and taking off running straight for the house. Because I was like, yeah, miss me with this because I'm not doing it.
I just got the best mental image of like you like legit screaming like a girl.
Oh, I absolutely. Yes.
Laughing.
Yeah. I mean, they like my mom and aunt would always drag me to haunted houses, which I would always be terrified. But Sheila would always sell it as this great experience where she was like, we love scary movies and stuff. Like, do you remember the movie Jeepers Creepers?
Yes.
That was like one of the first movies that like we really would like we watched, and it was honestly kind of terrifying.
Really? That's the first one that scared you?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it takes a lot to scare me. And the first
scared me the most.
The first movie that I think I watched that really scared the shit out of me, I was in high school, and it was Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon in it. That's a really good movie.
Okay.
But yeah, I grew up on like Chucky and Freddy, and my mom tells stories now. She tells stories about how Ashley used to laugh at it. I thought they were funny.
Yeah.
If that tells you how morbid my fucking brain is. But yeah, I loved all that stuff.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I loved a lot of them, but I don't know, man, that one really did scare me. I think between then and then the only other one that I really remember scaring me was The Strangers, just because I feel like that's such a realistic.
Well, yeah, it's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, any of the like haunting ones, those don't really bother me.
What do you mean haunting?
Gosh, like Paranormal Activity,
See,
hated those. They were just fine.
Yeah, they were very much like Blair Witch to me.
I do remember watching Blair Witch, and the only part of Blair Witch that really
was
scared
the end.
me. Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Had nightmares about that one image.
Oh,
just that one image.
Yeah.
Still to this day, it creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah. My Aunt Sheila was a legend. She had the best taste in all things horror. She lost her battle to cancer when I was in high school, but my family as a whole will always tell stories about her when we watch a scary movie, or if it's around fall or Halloween. Also, I know I have a lot of coworkers that listen to this, so hopefully this also gives you just a different look into who
Sheila was.
Yeah, the Sheila that we always hear about at work.
Yes.
So
the family side of her.
Yes. All right, the first urban legend that we're going to talk about that I researched was one that my stepdad actually sent me an article for, and I had really never heard of it. It was new. It kind of tied into your Momo, but it's a completely different thing than Momo is. So, deep in the mountains of the Ozarks that stretch from Missouri to Arkansas lurks a furry creature with horns who has a horrendous scream that sounds like a mixture of a wolf's howl, a hyena's laugh, and a human scream. In the 1800s, Daniel Boone shot at a mysterious beast after hearing it scream and coming face to face with it. The creature got away unscathed. This is the beginning of the legend of the Ozark Howler. As the years passed, the better the description got. He has now been described as a black bear with glowing red eyes and thick, scraggly fur. This description has often led to sightings being downplayed and as a sighting of a cougar or a black bear. The only feature that really sets them apart is the scream that comes from the creature. Unlike most urban legends, there isn't just one howler. There are multiple
so
who
there's
lurk
like
in the night.
A pack of them.
Yes. But I don't think that, like, they've been seen in packs, but I think that there just have been instances where there have been multiple sightings in a night, but, like, in different areas where one couldn't be in two places at once,
right.
You know? So, the urban legend states that if you gaze into the howler's eyes, you will be in a trance-like state. There are some people who believe that if you even hear the cry of the howler or cross paths with it, you will soon meet your demise.
I don't know what kind of noise that was that I just made, but I don't like it.
I sometimes have been finding myself I'm not even gonna.
No, what?
It's kind of embarrassing. I'll be like walking around my house and I'll be like, meow, but like,
No.
why?
Do you know what I do? Have you heard the commercial that's it goes murmur memer?
No.
It's like as some business in Colombia, and in the background they're like, when you have a problem, you can just call, and in the back you can hear like a little cartoon figure go murmur memer.
Oh, I don't like that, but okay.
I love it. I'll be walking around the house. I'll be like murmur memer.
All right. Well, okay. Glad I'm not the only one then.
Nah, man. I think it's a
universal experience.
Yeah.
All right, we're now going to talk about the craze that swept the nation and honestly took Facebook by storm.
This was in 2016?
Yeah.
Gosh, it doesn't feel like that long ago.
I know, but it also does at the same time.
Yeah.
But I feel like it also went quickly. Like it hit the headlines and then it was sightings and then it just
died. Yeah, it just died away. Yeah.
The story is straight out of a horror story. We're going to talk about the clown panic of 2016. It all began in the UK on Friday, September 30th. Reports started pouring in about somebody dressed as a clown who was jumping out of bushes to scare children. Over the next couple of days, other reports of clown incidents were made. There was an arrest made of a teenager who was dressed as a clown and in possession of a bladed article. It's the UK, so I'm assuming like maybe a knife, a machete.
Oh, wow.
The tabloids had got a hold of these stories, and the craze began to spread. Morgan Bell was 17 years old and had always feared clowns. One evening, she was faced with that fear and was chased down the street by a clown. All over the UK, more and more clowns began to pop up. This is where parents started spreading the news on Facebook. Naturally, this became a meme. As this craze began to spread, people truly took advantage of this and started dressing as clowns.
A meme. Yeah.
A meme. There were clown sightings in all 50 states of the United States by the time that this was over. The sightings varied from people dressed as clowns to just standing and staring, to them holding weapons, to clowns trying to lure people in the woods.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
Mm-mm.
Also, like, can you imagine your literal worst fear being chased by a clown?
I am thinking of Chelsea. She hates clowns. Like, you can't even take a picture and send it to her. If you do, like, the response you'll get back is, I fucking hate you.
Right.
Like, she hates them.
Oh, gosh.
So
Chelsea, this is probably your worst fear. And
it absolutely is.
Imagine.
Yeah, I feel like if that happened, she would probably have a heart attack and die.
That would actually be tragic.
I think that's what would happen to her. It's awful.
It really is actually terrible.
How are they luring people into the woods?
I would
come here, little kid.
Can you imagine?
I have candy for you.
Can you imagine going on a walk and just passing this clown, and this clown's like, "Hey, do you want to come see this kitten that I have?
Come see what I got in the woods. I have a kitten for you.
Would you like a baked good?"
You're going to say something else. Big something. It's like, where are we going with this? Big balloon? A big balloon? No, man, I will admit that sometimes, like, especially from Memphis's room, his window faces a street light out here. Uh-huh. And there's nights where I will, still to this day, I'll be closing his curtains, and I will think, how creepy would that be if there was just a random clown standing out there with,
or
like,
even
a balloon.
Just a person.
Yeah. The clown makes it a little scarier, but yeah, a random person would also be super creepy.
But a
just
random
like
person
staring at my house.
into your house?
Yeah, with this light. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
Nope. I'm a nope out of that.
This led to a widespread panic, people being on high alert, clown hunting parties, and even college campuses banning clown costumes because, remember, this was around Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, this was a short-lived phenomenon, but it was scary for those who feared clowns.
Yeah, I do remember that being a thing. I mean, I'm not affected by clowns. They're creepy, but I'm not, like, scared of them. I'm like, get out of my personal space. You're weird.
Also, I feel like that was a quick way to get your ass beat, though.
Yeah, that was a fuck around and find out moment.
Yes. Also off topic.
So maybe Chelsea would just beat the shit out of one of those clowns. I don't know. She's feisty.
I was going to say, you're either, like, like, what is it? Oh my gosh, flight or
Fight or flight?
fight or flight. Yeah.
Yeah, you're either fighting or you're flighting.
Yeah.
Could have gone one of two ways. I don't know.
We could have like Gage dress up as a clown and we could see what kind of reaction.
No, she would hate me forever. Like, I'm serious. I don't even remember what I sent her last time. It was something, it may have been at Halloween, because now, the spirit of Halloween, they have the giant,
Yes.
Okay, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It's a very B-rated, scary movie from like the late 80s, early 90s. I feel like it's late 80s, but I loved that movie growing up. But it's very B-rated. But now they make those big clowns off of Killer Clowns from Outer Space as the animatronic things at Halloween. And I think that's the last time I sent her one, and she was like, fuck no. Not just no, it was a fuck no.
Okay, also unrelated from urban legends. Did you hear that there was a guy in New York City that was going around and punching girls in the faces that were just walking around on their phones?
No.
Like, he was socking these women in faces. So one girl, she has a pretty big following on TikTok. She had immediately made a video after, and she was like, I was literally just walking around on my phone, and she was like, all of a sudden, this guy punches me in the face. I mean, she had like a massive goose egg.
Oh my God.
And so she ended up going to get checked out. She didn't have a concussion, but she made a police report. Well, then all like 4 or 5 other girls were reporting that the same thing happened to them.
Just for being on their phone?
Yeah, just because they were on their phone, and this guy was just walking around, and like he would like elbow people in the face or like punch them in the face. And naturally in New York, because nobody has any regard for helping anybody else there.
Oh, for sure.
Nothing was done. They ended up finding the guy and arresting him.
He needs to take some anger management classes.
Yeah, after like looking at his social media, he's definitely like an incel. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. There's like this big incel movement, which is these men that feel like they deserve to be wanted sexually by women. And so if any woman, doesn't matter how hot or how ugly they are, if they do not want them, then like these women are just like scum of the earth.
All right.
Yeah. It's this huge movement. There have been incel groups on Reddit that have gotten shut down because of just how like disgusting.
Learn something new every day.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to an iconic urban legend. I don't know. I guess I thought that there was more to this story than what I thought that there was. So I think that's where I was kind of like, oh, because there's also a TV show, I think, on Discovery about the Bell Witch, or Nat Geo. One of those.
I think there's a lot on the Bell Witch, actually.
Oh, it's on History Channel, I think. I thought there was because there's one living family member.
Yeah, but there's also
there's a scary movie based off of it too, I think. Right? Like American Haunting?
I'm going to Google it.
Okay.
There's a lot of like ghost adventures around them. There might be a living member. And then there's a lot of documentaries about like things that have taken place at that house.
Yes.
When people visit.
Okay. This story can be traced back to...
It's called The Bell Witch Haunting.
Oh, the TV show?
No. Oh, it's a horror documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, what's it on?
It says it's on Peacock right now.
Oh, okay. I feel like there was also one on my Discovery Plus app that I was watching. I can't remember what.
The Mark of the Bell Witch. That one came out in 2020.
Yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking of.
That one was on Netflix, I think. There's a lot on it.
So I guess if you want to do a deep dive on here, you can go to Peacock or Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, this story can be traced back to 1817. John Bell and his family believed that they were being attacked and taunted for several years by an entity known as the Bell Witch. They resided in Tennessee near the town of Adams. The Bell Witch was initially believed to be a Native American spirit due to one of the Bell boys having disturbed a Native American grave. Let's be honest, if he did that, he kind of did.
Yeah, dude, if it's leave shit I think
Like, leave it
I
as
think
it
the
was.
story was he took a rock or something from it.
Yes.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it be. Don't bring shit home with you.
Absolutely. Fortunately for the bellboy, he did not conjure up a Native American spirit. Whenever they asked who the entity was, it gave several different names, one of them being Kate, which was the name of the neighbor. She was known to be mainly invisible. The family did report sightings of strange animals, such as a dog with the head of a rabbit, and heard strange sounds throughout the night. Some of the sounds would be described as rats gnawing on the bedpost, scratching outside of their windows, and rocks being thrown at the house. However, every time they went to investigate these sounds, nothing was there. I think this could definitely cause some mania.
Was this also not the one where they heard like something walking on the roof?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just sounds, and then whenever they would go
There's
investigate
nothing
it,
there.
yes.
Which I have that happen now in my house. So
Great. Never staying the night here.
yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I think it's haunted.
The father, John, and his daughter, Betsy, were the ones who suffered the most from the Bell Witch. Their abuse often included being pinched, having their hair pulled, getting stuck with pins, and even beaten.
But she got it the worst.
Yes.
The girl got it the worst.
John became very ill, and his passing was attributed to the paranormal by the state of Tennessee. Mainly, they believed that Kate had poisoned him.
So, back it up. What did they declare his death as?
It was being attributed to paranormal.
Attributed to. Okay.
Yeah, but they think that he was poisoned by this witch.
Yeah.
The Bell Witch is still a huge part of Tennessee history and is still taught by schools today.
Yeah, I remember seeing, I'm still looking up all of it's out there everywhere. There's a lot of books and a lot of like documentaries on it. But I feel like just like the Conjuring house.
Oh, yeah, the one. Yep.
That was another movie that it's not like it scared me, but I was very leery on watching it because things that like that have happened in real life, even why are you laughing at me?
No, because I agree with you.
Even if it's like a big media craze and maybe it didn't really happen and it was like blown completely out of, proportion or whatever, I just feel leery watching it because I'm like, man, I'm opening that door.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like I had watched a documentary on the Bell Witch that there had been people there filming on site about something like The Conjuring,
Mm-hmm.
and people started to get sick.
Oh.
Because that happened to one of the actresses on The Conjuring. She had some really rare blood disease while she was on set, and then it just magically went away.
Whenever she was taken out of that. Oh, gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you ever watch Amityville Horror with
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
That was the best because he was just hot in that movie. But
That whole case has always just blown my mind.
I know. It is kind of...
Did it really happen? Or
was he just crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was there really a haunting afterwards? Or was it just,
Mm-hmm.
Because, God, what were their names? The investigators. Really right there on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, they've investigated the Amityville and they did the doll. Annabelle.
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did Annabelle, and then they did the one in the UK where that little girl was possessed. Do you remember that one? I think that was The Conjuring too, but that was a real event.
Oh, that was a real story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there was Annabelle, the Perrin family.
Yeah.
Which was The Conjuring.
Mm-hmm.
Amityville Horror.
Mm-hmm.
Enfield Poltergeist.
Where was that one?
London?
That's the one, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Arnie Johnson, which was somebody accused of killing his landlord.
They did.
That serves as the inspiration for Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It.
That one was the last version of The Conjuring. And that one was also, that was another real one that they actually took to court.
Oh, really?
Yes, and fought that the devil made him do it. I'm pretty positive.
There's the Snedker house. That was a TV film that became a part of Discovery Channel series, A Haunting. The
Interesting.
Haunting in Connecticut filmed was based off of that.
Hmm.
The Smurl family.
Dang, they were in a lot of stuff then.
And then Union Cemetery.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they were all around.
Maybe we should do some backstories on the Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah, that would be cool,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, that's a good...
Lorraine.
Yeah, that's all I really had for the urban legends. I probably could have gone further, but I didn't want to take up too much time.
Hey, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I was going to actually talk about something and I don't remember what it was. The first thing was the Riley case.
Oh, the Riley strain.
Did you see that the family asked for a second autopsy?
Did you see the results of the second autopsy?
No, but he was, hold on, I haven't yet, but
Okay.
he was found without his pants and without his shoes and without his wallet.
Not even just shoes, like they were cowboy boots.
Yep, they gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What were the...
So obviously you're still
results?
waiting on the toxicology because that takes a long time to get a toxicology results. It takes usually like 2 months-ish.
Mm-hmm. You can put a rush on them, but it still takes a while.
Yeah, the second autopsy, there was no water in his airway.
I fucking told you.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you?
Yes.
My whole theory on this was, and still is, I immediately thought of this when I saw all of this stuff hit the news, was the smiley face murders.
Yes.
Not the smiley face killer, the smiley face murders. And it's always been college boys that are said that they are inebriated. Some of them have not been, though, when they get the toxicology reports back, but they're always found in bodies of water.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are ones that know how to swim. One of them went missing while he was on the phone with his girlfriend. Like, they were at a football game. She had come to pick him up and she was trying to get to him. And in the middle of their conversation, the phone cut off. So she was literally within like 2 to 3 minutes of getting to him and the phone cut off and he was just gone. She couldn't find him. They couldn't find him for days. And then they found him in the river. And so everybody's trying to make sense of, well, how the hell did he get from here to there? And yeah.
Yeah, I just think, obviously he kind of seemed like he was inebriated, but I don't think it was out of control because even whenever he walked past that officer.
I didn't quite understand why he got kicked out of the bar, though. Because the one report I read said that he had a drink at the bar and then had started drinking water, but had still gotten kicked out of the bar.
But then his fraternity brothers were not allowed to leave with him because the tab was still unpaid. So
but why would his
brother?
But he was kicked out.
Yeah.
So why would you keep 8? Like if say there were 9 of them at the bar, why would you keep 8 of them and kick the one out?
Right.
Why
and
wouldn't you
leave
kick?
Him on his own.
Why wouldn't you kick 8 of them out and leave one
to take care of the tabs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And then, I mean, because also he's a tall guy, so his stride is long.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm just imagining because I think he's a similar height to my little brother. And whenever I was in New York with my little brother and trying to keep up with him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like
it's hard.
Double stepping because his stride is so long.
Yeah.
So imagine even just 5 minutes of him getting to go walk somewhere.
Yeah.
Versus him just sitting.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. It's really weird to me.
I will be interested to see, though, if there is any further investigation or if it will be one of those investigations that
just falls flat.
Yeah. Because, even it kind of reminds me of not really, like, in a sense, it kind of reminds me of the Gabby Petito, how her parents pushed so hard because, like, her parents knew that his parents knew something was.
Well, and I think Gabby's was also pushed like it was because she was so prominent on social media.
Yes.
And she had so many followers. And then when, she wasn't posting things, I think everybody
was aware. But I think her parents are now suing his parents for them having knowledge that she was dead, and they were like helping hide him and get
harboring
basically harboring a fugitive. Yeah.
Dang.
I know. I hope that there are answers. I think that this will end up just being a dead end, and
I hate that.
I do too.
Because what was I thinking about the other day? I was thinking, that's the other thing I was going to talk about. I was thinking about the shooting in Vegas. Do you remember that? it was made to be such a big thing, and then all of a sudden one day it was just gone.
It just really helped drive the anti-gun propaganda.
Yeah, and where is that guy?
Also,
I don't even...
What information did we find out about him? Because we didn't.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So that's what I was going to talk about, was we got a request. And I think I actually requested Lauren cover this, but we got a request to cover Bohemian Grove.
Uh-huh.
And the person that requested it was like, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of stuff on TikTok about it. So I was like, okay, I'll get on TikTok and I'm going to look to see what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. And it kind of scared me.
Yeah.
It scared me also because I watched I think it's called American Conspiracy, the octopus story or something like that. If you watch that.
Yeah, because I think whenever you typed that out initially in our Snapchat group with Darcy,
did it autocorrect to something else?
It said Octopussy, and I thought you were talking about Octomom. Remember that lady that had 8 kids?
That's not what
And so I was like, oh, cool, and a documentary about Octomom. No, just kidding.
Fucking no. It was the octopus story.
Yeah.
Or journalist or something like that. But yeah, so I had watched that day and then started diving into the Bohemian Grove stuff on TikTok and was like, negative. Nope.
Not touching that.
And I even told Aaron, I was like, it would be kind of cool to cover it because it also has a lot to do with the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah.
And my dad is a part of the Masonic Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, maybe I could talk to Dad and be like, hey, give me some of this, like, give me some of the secrets. But is the Masonic Lodge really what people think it is? Or is it just like one certain...
Or is your dad going to get killed off as soon as we release an episode about it?
Yeah. Or is it just like one certain portion of it is like that? Like the elite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the rest of them are not elite. Like I just wanted to ask those questions. But then I was like... No, I don't think I'm going to do that because I feel like the government would probably show up at our house and kidnap us, and then people would find us in the desert dead in like 10 years. And Aaron was like, well, they wouldn't kidnap us. They'd kidnap you. And I was like, no, they'd take the whole damn family.
Yeah, they would erase your name off.
We would be erased from history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ashley who? Ashley Ferguson who? Nope. So I don't know as I am completely ready to cover that yet.
No, I don't blame you. And maybe if we ever get to like Joe Rogan status,
maybe.
Because then they can't erase him off
It would be kind of cool though to dive into those groups, like the Snake Society or whatever it was called, the Masonic Lodge, like all of the rumors and scandals that surround those elite groups. That would be kind of cool. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just not.
No, it's okay.
I am not brave enough to cover that right now.
It was so funny because last night I was at the gym and the coach that was coaching last night, I never get the warm and fuzzy acceptance feeling from him. Mm-hmm. And so like there were only 4 people last night and I was like, this is my time to try to get to know him because
to force him to be your friend.
Basically, that's how I do.
Yeah, that's what you told me to do too.
Yes.
Force these people to be your friend. Don't give them another option.
I knew that he was kind of like a conspiracy theory buff.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow we got onto the topic of like food.
Mm-hmm.
And we got onto the topic of veggies that you like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And he started talking about how he will eat like dandelion greens and like herbs over like spinach or lettuce or salads because salads are so unhealthy because of all the pesticides.
Oh, yeah.
Because of like going back to like the Dirty Dozen. So then we got onto the topic of raw milk and the propaganda behind raw milk.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got onto the topic of chemtrails.
I have no idea what that is.
So chemtrails, as a kid, you would look up in the sky, and still to this day you can see it. You can look up into the sky and you see where planes have flown
mm-hmm.
and you see the
jet fuel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are actually called chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually have heavy metals in them.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah, we just went on a whole rabbit hole. So that provided a lot of inspiration for me to deep dive into some of my favorite conspiracy theories.
Interesting.
So that will be a future episode, but not the next episode I do, because the next episode I do is going to be about the McBee family dynasty. Remember that peacock family that I told you about?
Yes.
I just want to deep dive into them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my
You know,
gosh.
a large farming operation, money laundering. I don't know. Is there something? They've been raided by the FBI before. So, like, why were they raided by the FBI?
It's kind of like when you watch Ozark. It's like,
yeah.
When we were watching it, Aaron was like, I'm not going to say that this is inaccurate. Because
Absolutely.
this probably really does take place
Yeah.
down there. And I was like, really? You think that happens? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mm.
So, yeah, I just kind of want to do a deep dive on them, regardless of, you know.
I guess I'll have to
It's a
maybe
pop
put that in
culture.
my trash TV
I mean,
collection
my
and-
little brother watched it with me, and he was fully invested.
Oh, Lord. All right. We'll give it a go then.
That wraps up today's episode. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and Patreon.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and hit that notification bell so you can get an alert every time an episode drops. So tap that app.
Oh,
Tap
man.
that app.
Yeah, we always are getting the...
It's okay. Tap that app.
Please.
Tap it. Yeah.
We will see you next week. But in the meantime...
Stay strange,